Hey everyone, it's the Phoam Ranger with another episode of Phoam Ranger Sports. This one is previewing the LA Bowl, which is going to be tonight at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. As the Boise State Broncos at 9 to 4 will play the Washington Huskies at 8 to 4. So basically, this is the Coach Pete Bowl. This is the LA Bowl hosted by Gronk. It's sponsored by Bucked Up. Right now, the Washington Huskies are favored by 9.5 points. Over-under is 53.5 points. And the money line is Washington is favored by 360. Boise State is plus 280. On the season for Boise State again, our regular season, we lost week 1 against on the road to South Florida. Then we won home against East Washington. Well, the week 1 loss was 34-7. We beat East Washington 51-14. Then 20th, week 4, we won at the Air Force 49-37. Then we hosted Appalachian State on Saturday 27th, winning down to 47-14. We lost on the road at Notre Dame on October 4, 27. Beat New Mexico, week 7, 41-25. Won at home against UNLV, week 8, 56-31. Then we won at Nevada, week 9, 24-3. Then we lost in week 10 at home against Fresno, 37. Lost into San Diego State, week 12, 17-7. They beat Colorado State, week 13, 49-21. We won at Utah State, week 14, 25-24. Then we beat UNLV to win the conference tournament last week, 38-21. The game will be on ABC. Washington again is 8-4. They're a pretty good team. They start off week 1 with the win against Colorado State. Then week 2, they dominated UC Davis 70-10. Then week 4, they won at Wazoo 59-24. Week 5, they hosted Iowa State and lost 24-6. Iowa State was ranked first at that time, I believe. Then they took out Maryland on the road in week 6, winning 24-10. They hosted Rutgers week 7, won that one 38-19. Then they lost at Michigan in week 8, 24-7. Then they beat Illinois, who is ranked 23rd, 42-25 at home. Then they lost at Wisconsin week 11, 13-10. They went home against Purdue, 49-13 at home. They won at UCLA, 48-14 week 13. They didn't play in their conference title game because they lost at home against Oregon 26-14 in week 14. Utah won the last matchup in 2019 when they met up in the Las Vegas Bowl. Again, this is the second time we're playing in the LA Bowl. Last they played in the LA Bowl was 2023, where we lost to UCLA. So the football team is looking to get a big-time win against Washington and to go 1-1 against or to go 1-1 in the LA Bowl all time, because it was announced earlier this week that this is going to be the last installment of the LA Bowl, because initially the LA Bowl was the placement of the Pac-12 Mountain West Bowl game, because around 2019 or so, right around COVID time, the Pac-12 announced, the old Pac-12 announced that they would in Vegas be taking on the SEC conference instead of the Mountain West. And so the LA Bowl was created as replacement for that bowl, so that the Mountain West could still have a bowl tie-in and to play against the Pac-12. Broncos are encouraging Bronco fans who are blue. Again, the game's going to be on ABC. And the cool thing about the start time is it happens about an hour, well, basically soon after the Heisman is announced, and because the Heisman ceremony is going to be on ABC right before the LA Bowl. All time against Washington, the Broncos are 2-4. They're 1-0 at home, 0-3 on the road. Again, they've lost every time they play Washington on the road. They've beaten Washington at home. They lost in 23 to Washington on the road, and they lost to them again in the Las Vegas Bowl in 2019, and they lost to Washington in 2013. They lost to Washington in 2013 on the road. In Coach Pete's first year with the Huskies, and 2014, I think, was the year they came back. And we beat them in neutral site game in Las Vegas in the 2012 Las Vegas Bowl. Correction, it was 2015 we beat them on the blue. Because at the end of the 2013 season, Coach Pete left. So it was in year 2 of Coach Pete at UW. So this is a big game for the Broncos. Because Boise State, ever since the win at Florida State, the Broncos have not beaten a power conference team. They are, well, depends on one. Looking at their 0-9 against teams from power conferences, if you include BYU, then they're 1-11. So this game has a lot riding on it for Boise State football. Because again, this program is the part of the foundation was playing the games against these power conference bigger schools and beating them. And again, since 2019, since the opening game, the Hurricane Hank game at Florida State, we have not done that. And we've not lived up to that standard. The football program has not. We lived up to that standard. Again, this is going to be a tough game to get that back on track. Let's look at the team stats right now. The Broncos are averaging 432.7 yards per game on offense, 25th in the nation, 230.7 pass yards per game, 55th in the nation, 188.4 rush yards per game, 32nd in the nation, 31.4 points per game, 40th in the nation, 47% of third down conversions, 22%. Whereas defensively, they allowed 335.5 yards per game given up, 36th in the nation. They're giving up 160.2 pass yards per game, 17th in the country. 164 rush yards per game, 88th in the nation. 23 points per game given up, tied 53rd in the nation, and are allowing opponents to convert on 32.7% on third downs, tied for 16th. Whereas Washington gets 414.5 total yards per game, 40th in the nation. They average 229 pass yards per game, 56th in the nation, 168.7 rush yards per game, 59th in the nation. They average 33.8 points per game, tied 22nd in the nation. But they're really good on offense at converting for third downs, 50.7% on third down conversions, 7th in the nation. Defensively, they give up 311.3 total yards per game, 20th in the nation. They give up 196.2 yards per game through the air, 51st in the nation. 103.5 rushing yards allowed per game, 17th in the nation. 19.4 points per game allowed, tied 21st in the nation, and 38.9 third down conversion percentage allowed, which is tied 63rd in the nation. So this is going to be a tough game for the Broncos. Again, Gronk predicted like a 4-point win for the Broncos, even though Vegas has it about 9.5 point spread. it was also released that Blitz will go to the game and Gronk will race Blitz, the T Dog, for the second time. I mean, yeah, 2023 he technically cheated, but it was all in fun and games. So right now, Gronk all time is 1-0 against Blitz, the T Dog, and Blitz is looking for revenge. He's looking to beat Rob Gronkowski in this one. So back to what I was saying again. Since the Broncos have been struggling recently to beat the power conference teams, some of that luster of Boise State has faded away nationally, especially in this day and age of the conference football playoffs. There was a lot of debate about after the field was released, which I'll do another different episode on. But two group of 5 teams did find their way in, and some national pundits like Skip Bayless and some others are saying, no, why the hell are we allowing T5 teams into this? It should just be at least one, and that's it. So we'll see what happens, but Boise State could definitely help their case out with the win against Washington. This is probably the best opportunity we're going to get right now, because again, next year, I think it's either week 1 or week 2, we play at Oregon. I think we actually open next year at the University of Oregon. So this win would really help out, especially for Spencer Danielson, since he has yet to beat a power conference opponent or a power team. He is 0-4 in his career. I mean, yet that first one was a little rough. Again, the 23 LA Bull against UCLA. Since the big storyline that was that Taylor Green went down with injury. Well, actually, he didn't go down with injury. He left the team soon after winning the conference championship game for the Broncos and being named the Mountain Conference Offensive Player of the game. After that, he said he was going to enter transfer portal and shut down for the off season. And that was also the year that against New Mexico at home, Maddox Madsen got injured, so we ultimately went with true freshman C.J. Tiller at that time to make his first career start and playing his first career college football game, which was a little rough. Then again, 2014, we nearly lost against Oregon. The game was decided a bit with special teams play. Then last year in the playoff and the Fiesta Bowl, we lost to Penn State. This year we lost to Notre Dame. So under Spencer, right now the Broncos are 0-4 in those games against power conference opponents or power opponents in those big time games. Really gonna need a hell of a big game for Maddox Madsen. Though remember, he has had some issues playing against really talented teams and really talented defenses. I mean, Notre Dame picked him off for times, and the offense was quagmired, except for just one drive. Again, Penn State, he did have a touchdown pass, but he also threw a couple picks as well. In Oregon, he also had like a pick and a touchdown pass as well. So, yeah, we definitely need him to be playing really well. That is going to be a little bit challenge for him this time, because it was announced a few hours ago that left tackle NFL draft prospect Cage Casey opted out of playing the bowl game. He did not travel to LA with the team. I think that was initially decided and agreed upon by Cage Casey and the Bronco football team earlier this week, because initially, according to BJ and some other reporters and stuff, and people were saying that earlier this week the football team was going to have an open practice for like Tuesday, but like the night before, that got changed to a closed practice. I think it really was because of Cage Casey deciding to opt out and not play this bowl game, to focus instead on prepping for the NFL draft. I think that was the main reason why. It's because Spencer may have wanted to play a little tight-lipped, Because even the presser on Monday, he was very committal about stating if anyone was going to be sitting out or opting out of the game or not. And again, it was only just announced this afternoon in the Bronco press conference that Cage Casey opted out of playing this game, which is going to be a little devastating offensively for us, because again, he was their starting left tackle and all conference honors and NFL draft prospect, especially since he had a vast amount of experience on the O-line, and so it's going to be next man up, which can make it a little trickier for Maddox Madsen, especially since Matoyer in the conference title game got injured and it's uncertain if he's going to go. Again, Broncos are going to be without Ben Ford. He's still out for the season. He's done for the year. And as of this recording at 12:37 a.m. on December 13th, the Broncos have not released any kind of injury report for this game. So all we know for the Broncos out is Ben Ford, potentially Matoyer on the O-line as well on the right side of it. And no one from Washington is sitting out this game or opting out. Everyone from Washington opted in to play this game. So, yeah, this is a big opportunity for the Broncos on national ABC to really make a statement for themselves, to get that power monkey off our back, in terms of the losing streak to power teams, get that monkey off our back. It would be a huge opportunity tonight to beat Washington and to get that monkey off our back and to get some big momentum going into next season in our first year for the Pac-12. So here's to hopefully a Bronco victory against Washington in the final LA Bowl game, and to cap off a year with, I believe, back-to-back 10-win seasons. I mean, I could quickly double-check on that, because I think last year finished with double-digit wins, and if we beat Washington, we should have double-digit wins again, because right now we're 9-4. Yep, but win against Washington in the bowl game would put us at 10-4. Last year we finished 11-2, I believe. Well, 12-2, I should see it. We were 12-2 last year. So that'll make it. So a bowl game tonight will make it back-to-back years that went. That we won 10 plus games, which will be the first time in some years, I believe, that we have done that. So that's also why this is big for the Broncos, a major opportunity for the Broncos to get a win today. So with that said, here's to a big time win for the Broncos tonight. Again, 6 p.m. is 6 p.m. Mountain Time on ABC, and the LA Bowl, and the Bucked Up LA Bowl, hosted by Rob Gronkowski. Again, Broncos versus the Washington Huskies for all the marbles in the last ever LA Bowl game. Here's to a Bronco win tonight, and to get that monkey off our back. Go Broncos.